Miss Spears. I'm so excited to jump right into writing with you today. All right, so let's do a review to start. Who remembers our writing chant? Writers, are you ready? Writers, are you ready? Writers, are you ready? Sit up. Feet are papers, tripod. Great job, writers. I know we did that a few days ago, so great job remembering. Next, we're going to review some of those terms we've been using, like personal narrative. What's a personal narrative? A story about yourself. A story about yourself. Great job, writers. Next, we have the writing process. Who remembers what the writing process is? First, we brainstorm, then we plan, then we write, revise, edit, publish. First, we brainstorm, then we plan, then we write, revise, edit, publish. Do it with me. First, we brainstorm, then we plan, then we write, revise, edit, publish. Good job, writers, remembering all these things. Next, we have our story elements. We have our setting, when and where the story takes place, our talking characters, someone talking in the story. Oops, a problem. Something the character wants that they cannot have. Attempts to resolve, trying to fix the problem, but it doesn't work. And yes, a solution. I fixed the problem, yes. Now we're going to jump into our writing challenge for the day. I want to write about a time you went on a trip. Maybe you went to a different state, maybe you went to someplace cool here in New York, but it's time that you went on a trip. I wanted to write about the time I went to New York City with my dad, and I forgot my book bag on the train. Oh no! My dad was not very happy with me, and he tried to call the train company, but they couldn't find my backpack. We've been using our story map. Our story what? Our story map to help us plan our writing, because we know that right now we are in the planning stage of our writer's process. So look at my story map. What do you notice about my story map? What part of my story map is filled out? You're right, scholars, the problem is filled out. So far, we've been just filling out our story map with all the parts of the problem. But today, I'm gonna add something different. The problem is the main event, the big thing that happens in your story that, goes wrong. We can write a story by identifying, that means figuring out the problem first, and then adding in extra juicy, remember my word juicy? Like a yummy hamburger? Juicy details. So first, I identified my problem. The problem was that I forgot my backpack on the train. After I brainstormed that problem, I wrote it in my story map. I wrote in that I had forgot my backpack on the train. And then I drew pictures. It's really important that you draw really detailed pictures. Why might it be important to draw really detailed pictures in your stories? You're right, writers, so that readers can follow along and they know all those juicy, really interesting details that make your story fantastic to read. Next, I added in extra details. I started to fill out my story map with the other important parts of a story, like the setting. I went to New York City, and there I added a super detailed picture of New York City. The talking characters. I was with my dad. Here's a picture that I got of a person with their dad. So maybe if this was you, you would draw a picture of you and one of your family members. I forgot my backpack on the train. I forgot my backpack on the train. Here I added a picture of my backpack and the train to make it super detailed so readers knew that I was talking about forgetting my backpack on the train. My dad tried to call the train station. I added a picture of a phone. In the end, I got a new backpack. Yes, the problem was solved. I got a new backpack. Now it's your turn. Today, while you're using your story map to plan out a story about a time you went on a trip, I want you to start with the problem, draw a really detailed picture about your problem, and then add in extra details all around it. I'm so excited to see what you come up with. Don't forget to add in the setting, the talking characters, the ways you tried to fix your problem, attempts to resolve, and how you, solved the problem. Thanks so much for watching, scholars, and I'll see you tomorrow.